Hello everyone, you're welcome back. Today I've come back with another interesting chess endgame puzzle, and this is a white to move and mate black in 2 moves. But before we get into the puzzle, I want to first show you the direction of the pawns so that you don't get confused. So these black pawns are actually moving in this direction. That means that this pawn on G2 is actually remaining with one square to promote. So you must put that into consideration. Okay, so before we get to solve it together, I want you guys to first try it out by yourselves before we solve it together. So if you don't mind, pause the video, try to solve it, and then come back when you found it. Good luck. Alright, so did you find that 2 moves that white has to move to mate black? Please let us know in the comment section. Don't mind whether what you said is wrong. It could be wrong, but having a very good variation that we have not talked about in the video. Okay, so let's try to solve it. Now, first things first, you must know that a king move is not the move that is going to help us mate black in the next move. Because, for example, if you play a king move and then black promotes, there's no way we're going to mate in the next move. Whatever you do, there's no mate there, right? Even if you try to mate by the bishop, black can escape. So a king move is invalid. And let's try to see if we can get a bishop move right. For example, a bishop move, this bishop on a3, if we try to check from b2, black can still escape, so that's not the move we are looking for, because after black escapes, there's no way we are winning. And if we try to play a waiting move by the bishop, and let's say black plays this, then we can get a mate. That's a mate, right? But then black won't have to remove that pawn, because that pawn is the one protecting the king from a mate, right? So black will just promote, and there is no mate in the next move. So that is not the move we are looking for, since black can avoid it. Okay, what about a queen move? Now a queen move, if we want to get a mate here, we would ideally want to put our queen here and on c3, on e3 and c3. But then how are we going to do it? Because if you try to put your queen there in 2 moves, you need to go through this procedure, and then after putting your queen there, black can still escape. And if you try to actually pass this side up to block black from going to the e file, the problem is now black is going to promote, and then the square, the e3 square you wanted to go to mate, is now covered by this queen. So you don't get to mate black using that. Okay, what about if we actually just went to c8? The idea is to go to this square c3 and mate from there. Now if we do that, the black king has an escape route now, and there's no way you're mating in the next move. So that also doesn't work out for us. That means queen moves don't look like they're going to help us, and we are left with one piece that we haven't tested yet. That is the bishop on d3. How are we going to use it to mate black? Let's see. If we play this bishop to e4, if black dares to capture, then we get to mate from c5. That's a mate, right? If black doesn't capture, for example, black promotes to a queen, we get to mate from d5. That's a mate. But then black can also avoid that mate by putting this bishop here. Then you don't get to mate black in the next move. That means that's not the move we are looking for. But then, since that bishop is on that side, what about if we did the same thing but on the other side, on c4? For example, we put the bishop here. If black captures, we get to mate like this. That's a mate. And if black doesn't capture, black decides to promote, we get to mate from d5. What about if black brings the bishop like he did before? If black brings the bishop, it doesn't help him this time, because we can now play d3, queen d3, and get the mate. So playing bishop c4 was the solution, and whatever move black plays, we get to mate in the next move. I hope you found it. If you didn't, stick around for more. Subscribe, like the video. Until next day, have a good time.